Hello friends, how are you? Beatriz here, your host on Beatriz Book Nook. And I am so happy to be finally presenting to you the Goddess Complex Readathon. If you don't know what it is, it's a readathon that I've been working for the last past of months, and it's finally time to announce it to you and to share with you all, because I am so happy and we are finally ready to bring some Greek mythology into all of our books. So without further ado, let's get to know what is the goal of this readathon, because I think that's what you wanted to know, the story. Now formally, hello gods and goddesses, how are you? I'm your host, the one that's bringing you some chaos every now and then, and welcome to dethroning Zeus from the Olympus. I know it's going to be hard, but you have your teams, you have your co-hosts, so I'm sure you'll be able to do it. And let us know, who do you think is going to be the goddess that will dethrone Zeus and be the queen of Olympus? And yes, it's going to be only goddesses, because we are all in for female empowerment, for woman empowerment, and I really want to see a goddess up in there in the throne and Zeus out of there. So are you ready for this challenge? Do you want to know more? If so, keep watching, because I am finally ready to share it with you. Now for the teams, because this is going to be a competitive based readathon, you have to know your teams and your co-hosts, and I decided to make all of the teams based on one of Zeus' goddesses, because who better than one of his daughters to dethrone him? Because of that, I have 4 teams, each one very different from the other, and each one based on one of the Zeus daughters. So let me present to you the teams. I have my information here on my phone. I am ready to share with you all of the information about the goddesses, who they are, and who your team hosts will be, because I am so excited, and I hope you are as excited as I am. I am so happy to present to you the first team, which will be Team Aphrodite. As you know, Aphrodite is known for the goddess of love and, most importantly, the goddess of romance. None of this team was created with one genre of book in mind, but Aphrodite really suits romance the best, and I think the prompts for the team also suit romance. Besides the prompts or the team prompts that I will share later, you can also choose your team based on the goddess personality, which I try to give a little bit of background. So Aphrodite is known as the goddess of love, beauty and desire, often depicted as vengeful and generous, but also witty and cunning in order to gain worship and power. If this little description of Aphrodite is not enough for you, you can also choose based on your team hosts, who will be Vanessa from Read with Dr. B and Brie from the Booktervert. Brie, I am so excited, and if romance and if you love these ladies is your jam, make sure to join Team Aphrodite. So, as you probably know, Artemis is known as the goddess of the hunt, but also she is the goddess of the wilderness, wild animals, nature, vegetation, childbirth, care of children, and chastity. And she takes pride in being the toughest of the goddesses. Something interesting about Artemis, if you don't know, she is also the twin sister of Apollo, the god of the sun. But this is not the time where we are talking about the gods. But if this information about Team Artemis is not enough, you can also choose based on your team host, who will be Laura from the book Hermit and Danny from Danny Doubles. The next team I want to present to you, it's going to be the Underworld team, and it is Team Persephone. Persephone is the queen of the underworld and of spring. Her personality is full of contrasts. In a way, she embodies innocence, joy, and the vibrance of spring, but her time in the underworld has made her or endowed her with wisdom, resilience, and a big understanding of the cycles of life and death. She's also compassionate, often advocates for the humans and or on behalf of the mortals, but she also commands with respect. If this isn't enough, you can also once again choose based on your co-hosts, who will be Katie from I Would Rather Be Reading and Nikki from Hello Nikki Novels. The last team, although last sometimes is the best, is going to be Team Athena. As you know, Athena is most known as the goddess of wisdom and battles, but she is also the goddess of warfare, and handicraft. She is also known for being determined, strategic, tactical, stubborn, and careful, but at the same time she is also vain, creative, artistic, wise, loving, kind, and generous. She is also very loyal and protective of her allies. Everything you need for this battle to dethrone Zeus, don't you think? Also, besides that, you can also choose by your team hosts once again, which will be Julie from Keep Up with Books and Coffee and Abby from Pink Beauty XX. I'm so excited because these lovely ladies did agree to be my co-hosts, and they are going to be doing an amazing job at leading you on to victory, or, well, hopefully to victory, right? But what is actually a readathon without some prompts? I have here about 12 prompts that I'm going to share with you. I did bundle them in groups of 4, and you will have 3 big difficulties. The difficulties are going to be low, medium, and hard, and each one of these will be quoted with a point number, which will be 50, 100, and 150 depending on the difficulty. So just to share with you, these prompts were all based on gods and the goddesses and Greek mythology, so they are all named after some relic or something like that in the Greek mythology. I did make my research, don't you worry. So the first prompt is going to be Armor of Achilles, and it's going to be a comfort read. Then we have Apollo's Lyra, which is most read genre. Zeus Bolt is also here, don't you worry, which will be top of your TBR. And last, for the 50-point prompt, we have Hermes Sandals, which will be a popcorn read. Very easy prompts to fill, and I hope you're ready for the 100-point prompts, which will be Cap of Visibility, a bingeable book, Lotus Tree, translated book, Poseidon's Trident, a book from a trilogy, and Scale of Justice, a possible 5-star read. This is all the 100 points prompts. I hope you are ready for the hard ones, because these ones were very fun to create. So the first one is Ambrosia, which is the longest book on your TBR. It can either be the one you have for the longest or the one that has the most pages. It doesn't matter. Then we have Prometheus Chains, which is create a link with the previous book read. So you can create many links. You can create by color, you can create by, imagine that you finished a book that has the same 2 letters followed by each other, so you have to do that in your next book. The third prompt is going to be Intimidating Read, and the last one, not the least, it's going to be Trojan Horse, which will be a book with a plot twist. This is all the prompts that will give you 150 points. So you might be asking, so how can I stack them? What will I do with these prompts, and how can I win this competition? Don't worry, I still have more prompts to share with you, and I will share all the details that I have for how you will be able to win this in just a moment. Before talking about points, we need to talk about your team prompts, which will be dedicated for each goddess. I did make a little bit of research on this one, and each goddess and each team has about 5 prompts. They all vary also in difficulty, but these ones will do a different thing than add to your point total. So the team prompts will actually be a multiplier. So you are curious about the team prompts? Let me share them with you. For Team Aphrodite, we have a book with a beautiful cover, a book with vegetation on the cover, a book with more than one love interest, a book with water on the cover, and then a book with a wedding/ceremony. These all are also named after some sort of relic, some sort of element related to the goddess. For Team Artemis, you will have a book with vegetation on the cover, a book with a weapon on the cover, a book with a natural source of light on the cover, a book with 2 and only 2 points of views, and a book by a queer or author or with a queer character. Then next we have the team prompts for Team Aphrodite, which will be a book with vegetation on the cover, a book with multiple point of views, a book with death in it, a book with travels, and a book that takes place in 2 different worlds. And lastly, but definitely not least, For Team Athena, we will have a book with a person on the cover, a book with a weapon on the cover, a book depicting war, a book that involves some sort of competition, and then a book with a mentor. Are you ready to know a little bit more about the points and how the points will work? I think it's time for you to know how you can win this competition. So let's talk about how you can win this and dethrone Zeus from the Olympus. So as you probably know, we have 3 different difficulties. We have low, medium and hard, and each one of them corresponds to a point number. So 50, 100 and 150. For each book that you read, you can stack up to 3, but they have to be all of different difficulties. So you cannot stack up 3 of the same difficulty. You can stack up one from 50, one from 100 and one from 150. Then with those points, which will add up normally to 300, you can multiply them by one of your team prompts, which you will have to fulfill. So these team prompts will give you a multiplier between 1.2 and 2.5, which will be the biggest one. And these multipliers will bring an advantage to your team. The team that has the most points by the end of the month is the team that is going to win, but also I will have one little fun weekend where instead of us counting by books, we will be counting by page. So the team that reads more pages is the team that's going to take like a little advantage in terms of points. So be aware, you will have a weekend during the middle of September where you will actually be able to read a lot of pages instead of a lot of books. And this weekend will have the name of the Conquest weekend. Me, being a video game addict, had to have some sort of mentioning of games, so here it is. It's going to be called the Conquest weekend, where instead of books we will be counting pages. So don't worry, it will be fine. I don't want you to stress. This is all for fun, and let the best god win, or better, let the best goddess win, because that's what we are here for, to know who will be the next one on the Olympus throne. Are you excited, friends? Because I hope you are as excited as I am. And oh my god, I'm so excited. I've been working on this for quite a few time now, and I cannot believe that it's finally out. So I will leave down below the link for you to access the Goddess Complex Readathon Discord server, where you will be able to talk with your teams and know a little behind the scenes of the Discord, because I will be announcing every week who is on the lead, or how many points the lead has, and also who is some more like details, because each team will know some things that the other teams won't. Besides this, down below will also be the frequently asked question document, where you can look for before you go and ask some questions in the Discord, because I tried to give like as many answers as I could in there, but obviously you might have some doubts or some questions to ask, so feel free to join. And I really want to know which team you will be joining, because I cannot wait to know all about your reads and all about what you are going to be doing during this month of September. So until September, friends, I hope to see you around the internet, and I hope to see a lot more of you by then, a lot about your reads during the month of September. But let's try and dethrone Zeus. What do you think? So until then, I hope you have an amazing day, night or evening, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all, if not in September. So bye, gods and goddesses!